You're listening to Hey Pal, What's New with John, Alex, and Greg. Hey Pal, What's New is a GPR production. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and all other social media platforms. Hey Pal, What's New can be found on Spotify, Twitch, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google, Podbean, Pandora, and all your other favorite podcast locations. Warning, Hey Pal, What's New contains explicit content. John, Alex, and Greg are a pair of vulgar Gen Xers. If you are easily offended, please stop listening and go download a nice tame podcast like the Goop Podcast. You have been warned. Oh, hot mic, hot mic, hot mic.
It's hot now that you just burped into it. What does it smell like? Smell it.
Smells like nothing.
It smells like cigarettes and sorrow. At least mine does. Hey, everybody, guess what? It's Hey Pal, What's New? I'm Greg, and that's John Alex over there. And we took
AKA Lebowski Light.
Yeah, I look like fucking, what's his name? Jimmy Gustafo from fucking Murphy's Law with this freaking. I decided to take off. That's it. I'm going to the Goop. Fuck you. I decided to take the mustache part of it off.
Tully's going to be up next week.
Ooh!
Saturday. He's going over to his buddy's house to watch the wrestling. What is it? SmackDown or
SmackDown?
Smack my ass up or
Monday Night Raw. No, it's Saturday, so you wouldn't be Monday Night Raw.
I'm not dropping names.
No, don't do that, man. We keep it, we keep it on the DL.
I'm gonna try and get a quickie with Tully.
That would be beautiful, yeah. To get freaking Tully in here. So, yeah, man, we took a week last week because of the snow.
Snow.
Snow. Looks like he's about to paint a demon in human blood. Dude, I like this look, though, man. It says, you know what it was? Is I didn't want to get rid of the full beard, but the mustache part, man, it just drives me nuts. Like, you're constantly like, we always used to tease our good friend Pete Sullivan when we were on tour when he had that massive beard.
Right.
And he would never trim it. Like, it was just a big bush on it. We used to call him Nosferatu. Because he'd be sleeping. We're like, Nosferatu sleeps.
I have not seen that movie yet either.
But we used to tease about, Steve and I used to be like, there's nothing better in the world than watching Pete, when he had that beard, eat a toasted almond. Because it was just like a Venus flytrap. It was just kind of like this. And just all the freaking almonds would get stuck in there.
Well, yours says, I don't want to tickle my nose, but I want to tickle your ass.
I want the flavor saver down here.
Well, tickle the ass. That's
yeah, exactly. So I still get that. This part up here, which is nice.
Sure.
I don't know. I got bored. You know how I am.
Dude, I get it.
But anyway, we'll start it off the way we always do, man. What's new with you there, Nanook in the North?
Fuck if I know. I just been sitting around doing a lot of nothing. We had midterms last week, so there's not a lot to do.
I was going to say, Violet only went in this week on Wednesday to take a midterm because she took them all last week, so she was basically off all week.
Right, and there was one day I had to call in sick because, like, Finn now is at the point, like, all night he's, like, up and pacing. This is the dog, everybody.
Yeah. Big Finn. He's like the size of a freaking Clydesdale.
He's back and forth pacing, and then he lays down, and then he's like, then he starts whining. And then he gets up and tries to change position. So I said to Kate, I was like, I think it's just that the tumor that's in his rib is just getting bigger. When he lays down, it just gets real uncomfortable.
Oh, poor guy.
So I had to call him one day, and now the new semester starts tomorrow. And I told Kate, I was like, I hate this because it's like I got two of my classes. It's like all new kids.
Oh, really? You got to start all over again?
Yeah, a little fucking.
Harrison Ford.
Shrinking.
Get off my plane.
Well, we'll get to that because didn't you talk about Shrinking last episode?
Yeah, it's a great show.
And Kat and I binged all of it.
Oh, yeah?
So fucking good.
Yeah,
I'm going to get to that because I've got a hard-on for Apple right now.
We all forget. I mean, Jason Segel is hysterical, but you always forget, like, Harrison Ford is quite funny, too.
Yeah. Well,
Well, we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
I don't know if I
though.
want to jump ahead to all my rant about fucking Apple. So
Yeah.
we'll do that when we get to TV because that's where
Yeah.
my rant lies. But other than that, I just been, I made enchiladas for dinner and because we have varying dietary issues in this house, I made shrimp enchiladas
Okay.
and chicken enchiladas and then like a gluten-free shrimp.
It must be impossible to cook a dinner here. Who's vegan? Who's fucking gluten free? Who's this? Who's
it's nice because most of the kids are like in their 20s. And it's like, dude, like tonight I was like, I just want chicken chow mein, East Coast chicken chow mein, not West Coast chicken chow mein.
All right. What's the difference?
So the chicken chow mein I get is like the celery and the onion and the sprouts, and it's like in a creamy, like not even creamy, like like a jizz sauce.
Yeah, kind of like lobster sauce.
That's East Coast. That's East Coast chicken chow mein. West Coast chicken chow mein looks more like lo mein.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
I got Chinese food on Friday. Actually, I got it from Ming Hing.
Ming Hing. Ming Hing,
Ming Hing is making a comeback. I mean, I'll tell you, I don't want to get too local here. I mean, who's not going to fucking care? Yeah, there's like in the vicinity, there's like at least 4 Chinese restaurants. Not 3, and then counting freaking Kobu, which is more Japanese, right? Hibachi style. They're all in various degrees of suck. It was funny because I went back. I was like, oh, Ming Hang. Let me tell you, their food is fucking great. I was like, I don't know what the hell they did.
There's a level of Chinese. Like, you've got your, like, P.F. Chang's, which is, like, not fast food. Not quite
it's
fast
like Red
food.
Lobster or fucking Olive Garden. Yeah.
But then you've got your level that's like your Kobu. That's
Yeah.
like a kind of like a more gourmet-ish, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got your Ming Hing's, which is like your corner Chinese place.
Yeah, the traditional takeout.
And then you've got your mall Chinese, which is like, your Panda Express, whatever.
And
fuck that is.
it's
like
mall Chinese food is so much different.
They
It's
give
so
you
weird.
the fucking bait and switch though, because they're like, oh, you want to try some teriyaki chicken? You're like, oh yeah, like, oh, that's good. Let me get the teriyaki chicken, and you get it, and it's just fucking breading.
Yeah,
There's no chicken in there.
Mall Chinese food is fucking jive.
You sample the actual chicken, and then when you get the fucking food, there's no chicken in that fucking chicken.
Oh, well, I'll tell you, give you a little.
And I don't mean, we're not talking Alf level Chinese food here.
We're talking about Pete Sullivan and his, the Nosferatu freaking eating the toasted almond. That's how we survived on tour half the time. Is we would go to malls because we were fucking. We had a limited budget, so we'd go to the malls during the day and just eat free samples all day long.
Yeah, go to BJ's,
BJ's, fucking
Costco.
I used to when I was in college. I used to always go to Stu Leonard's. You just walk through and just freaking eat samples because there's just samples all through the thing, and you were just like, man, I'm starving. Let's go to Stu Leonard's. I'm broke, and we just eat there. So I always it's so funny because Zoe's she's got a couple of friends, and her girlfriend goes to WestCon,
right?
And I give them all the fucking tips. I'm like, you fucking broke? Go to fucking go to Stu Leonard's and eat up on free samples. If you're hungry. But yeah, my week was pretty uneventful. I mean, the Mimi is now in Florida.
Oh.
I'm leaving on a jet plane. I don't know when I'll be back again.
Ooh.
Copyright strike. All right, demonetized. Can we say demonetized, everybody?
0% of 0 is 0.
That's right.
But yeah, she's down in Florida now, so the house is definitely it's a little quieter, a lot quieter. She keeps to herself, but on the most part, I don't have to worry about garbage and mail, and I still have to worry about those things.
You got to worry about the females.
Yeah. So it's been very chill. Like you can see, my demeanor is very chill today. Like not crazy, but other than that, really just it's been kind of slow. I mean, I didn't have band practice. I didn't have fucking podcast the week before, so I'm fresh and ready to go, man. I'm ready to hit what's out there in the world these days.
It's crazy. I had like 2 weeks off for Christmas, and then we came back and had like 2 weeks of school, and then it was like a week of midterms, and now I've got 2 weeks, and then I got another week off, and I'm going to Myrtle Beach to go see the Mima.
Yeah. You go.
I'm going down myself.
Yeah, hopefully it won't be a freaking snowstorms.
I'm from New York. Fuck you in your southern snowstorms. One of the people I work with was she just retired and she's down in Florida. And she was sending us the news report about it's raining iguanas.
Oh, jeez.
So, I don't know. In other news, in the news today, your weather in Florida, it's raining iguanas because of the snow. The iguanas stop moving and they fall out of the trees.
Oh, okay.
So it's all over the news.
Yeah,
the prediction is raining iguanas. Well, you know what happens when you walk out in that snow.
Oh. Yikes.
We got a couple of dead people, Greg.
Yeah, a couple of music people.
Peter Forrest, or as you may better well know him as P Fluid.
Yes.
Now, is that like piss fluid?
Could be. I don't know.
He was in 24/7 Spies, was killed
in
his cab.
It was an ambulette, I think.
Ambulette, that's what it was. He was beat to death in his ambulette.
It's a sad thing, man. It was one of...
I don't know what's sadder, that he was beat to death in his little ambulance or that he has to drive an ambulance. Not that he has to. Maybe he loves it.
Yeah,
Maybe he loved.
They were one of those bands, we had actually played a showcase for a record company when we were down there, and we opened for 24/7 Spies. It was a weird show. It was 24/7 Spies, 25 to Life, which is like these freaking DMS skin, hardcore guys, and it was us. And we did the typical rent a bus. Everybody got thrown on the bus. We went down the city.
Pete Seeger.
Yeah. That wasn't the Pete Seeger. I think Pete Seeger was the CBGB one.
Dude,
anyway,
I remember driving with your band in the back of a fucking U-Haul.
Oh yeah, we used to rent those U-Hauls. It was
and
great.
We'd be in the cab of the U-Haul where that's nobody's allowed to ride in here. We're in the back there sliding and falling, holding on to the ladder.
Oh yeah, at least 5 of us were back there. But yeah, we went down there once, and 24/7 Spies, we opened for them. Great band. They were one of those bands very similar to our band, where it was like, hey, we're coming out, and then Rage Against the Machine. Then 24/7 Spies was big right around the time Living Colour blew up.
Yep.
So it was like Black Rock Correlation kind of thing, and you were like, but they were a great band, great guys. Yeah, that was the show where freaking Josh Silver from Typo Negative was going to do our demo because he saw... Anyway, I'm fucking throwing names out like I'm some kind of famous motherfucker.
Greg sucking his own dick over there.
I can't do it. But anyway, no, it was a damn, when you hear stories like that, you're just like, God damn it. It was one of those bands that almost there. If just timing sucked. But yeah.
Well, we also have a...
Yikes.
He did go out on his own. John Sykes from Whitesnake. And many other bands you were telling me.
Phenomenal guitar player. He was in Whitesnake. A lot of the songs that you know from Whitesnake from that 87 album, like the Here I Go Again and Still of the Night and all that, he wrote a lot of that stuff. He was in Whitesnake, and then right before that album came out, he was like, I'm done, I'm out. Left the band. It's one of those things where he's such a talent, but all his bands that he was in, he was short-lived. I was like, I don't want to talk ill of the dead, but I'm like, was he a dick? It just seems like he was in a lot. He was in Thin Lizzy for a while. He was in Whitesnake for a while. He wrote a lot of the good stuff from Whitesnake. Okay. Then he was in a band. Actually, Doug posted. That's how I found out about it. Is our pal Dougie posted a track from Blue Murder, which was a band he was in. It was him, Carmine Appice, and Tony Franklin, who played bass in The Firm. 3 amazing players, and they put out one album, and the album was phenomenal, and that was it. So yeah, I think it was Cancer. It was 65. Still young, man. It just came out of nowhere. So yeah, big ups to that.
And unfortunately, because of our next passing, you won't be hearing any of those songs on WXAX radio.
Yeah.
Big Jim from WXAX.
Jim Arndt, yeah. He it was a big supporter of local music. WXAX radio. He did the Sackerson SOSS2 with us. Great guy. He was just one of those guys that I don't know if he retired early, or I know he was still working, maybe part-time, but he had a passion for music, metal. Yeah. So he started his own online metal station, kind of similar to Soulmouth Radio with our buddy Jason Gisser. It just out of nowhere, man.
Maybe you're retired, that's what you do.
Yeah, and he was just he was telling me story. We sat down Jim and I at that SOSS2. We chatted. We were shooting the shit. You know, he gave me all kinds of, you know, swag, you know, the fucking cups. Like, I still have all the cups and the stickers and all that shit. And and he was just like, yeah, he's just like, he sunk a lot of his own money into this radio station that it was, you know, let's be honest. It's an online radio station. It's not exactly, you know, on terrestrial or whatever.
Not K-Rock.
No, it's not K-Rock.
It's not iHeartRadio.
No, but it was something that he was really passionate. A lot of people. He supported a lot of local bands. He'll be sorely missed, man. It's tough because, look, we tried to do it with Sack of Sin, and, yeah, it was a little tough, man, to get everybody on board the same thing. But a lot of, you know, he rallied a lot of people, so it's going to be a big loss, I know that, I think they are continuing the station without him, because he had different people on Metal Mike, and Vern, our pal Vern, did a show, Local and Unsigned.
Right.
So hopefully it will stick around.
Okay.
But the man, the godfather of
Well,
WXX.
we'll keep the fans posted.
Yes, yeah, we'll definitely
All two
prop
of
him
you.
up. Yeah, all two of you. Yeah,
Totally. And where's our buddy? What's his name? The
So,
guy
from Manchester, who likes to fucking do coke off of hookers. Yeah.
Well, speaking of,
Oh boy.
Someone's ground behind. Someone pulled this picker out, and now they're in a bind. Play with it.
He's a very naughty boy.
yeah,
Who did what and why?
hashtag Naughty Boy Neil. Neil Gaiman. Dark Horse Comics has now cut ties with Neil Gaiman.
Ouch.
After more allegations, adding more
allegations.
credibility to the other allegation. I read some of this. An article. The one woman who came out, they all signed NDAs. Some of them. The one woman, it was like she was working for him allegedly. Everything
Allegedly.
is preceded with allegedly. I don't want to get fucked over. I'm just telling you what I read in the article.
Yeah.
She was working for him at his place in Woodstock, New York, while he was teaching at Bard College. Mm-hmm. And I guess her husband worked there too, but he was let go from his position there. I think her and her husband might have split up, or I don't know what happened. It doesn't matter. But she was living on the property and worried that she was going to lose her spot. And he was basically, because his wife wanted to turn over the house she was living in on the property to something else. And she was all worried. Now I got to find a place to live. And he's like, hey, don't worry. I'll protect you. I'll take care of you if you take care of me. Zip.
Oh.
And,
Males are just freaking dumb, innocent. Like, we are simple fucking creatures. Like, could you fuck my cock? Like, you're married to fucking Amanda Palmer, for God's sakes. Really?
And you have more money than fucking God. If you want to fucking get a blowjob, freaking pay someone out. Pay someone
just-
who's willing.
Or, you know what? Don't be fucking married. Don't
Yeah.
go out and fucking, you know, spacey it up if you want to. But for God's
Get
sake,
yourself a
man,
CPR doll. Anyway.
seriously.
Speaking of spanking it, new Pee Wee Herman documentary apparently
Ah!
coming out that he was involved in hundreds of hours of like interviews and where he confesses, "Hey, I'm gay."
What?
Pee Wee gay?
No.
Who'd have thought?
Ah!
Mecca lecca hi,
Mecca Heiny Ho, everyone.
Mecca lecca hi, Mecca Johnny ho.
Was this a fucking secret? I guess.
One last thing, I'm gonna leave the other stuff off, but I think it's like because we talked about this movie and how fucking good it is. I saw it. My son has seen it. Better Man. Well, apparently Paramount has stopped just releasing box office numbers because just to give you some information here, peeps, they paid $25 million for the domestic rights.
Okay,
Where-
not too shabby.
where it bombed with $1.9 million. The film has grossed $15.6 million worldwide. I'm going to guess the rest of that. The other, $13.7 million is from Great Britain alone.
Yeah.
And it cost $110 to make. So, yeah, somebody
I'm
is
surprised.
fired. So fired.
Fired, so fired.
Justin, I don't know if you talked to Justin about this, but Justin and I were talking. It's like they didn't promote this movie right. They didn't promote it at all, in my opinion. We saw the
No.
trailer once and talked about it, and then it was like, what? I haven't heard anything else about it. And
It's tough for a fact that he's more. People know him more overseas in
Yeah.
Britain. He was huge in Britain. We talked about that. But then the fact that you're doing a unique documentary, like a documentary or a biopic on something, and then you're going to be a monkey. And it's like, okay, if it was something different, I think maybe, I don't know, like
But if they sold, I feel like they could have sold it as like, don't sell it as the story of Robbie Williams.
yeah, just
Sell it as a story of like, mention all the stuff about a worldwide sensation, or this or that or the, and then boom, he's an ape.
yeah. Don't make it a biopic about Robbie Williams. I mean, he
Make
could
it a
sing
biopic about Robbie Williams, but don't promote it as a biopic about Robbie Williams.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's like I'm not a big fan of these music biopics. Like,
No.
I mean, Rocket Man, phenomenal.
But if you watch this as something other than that, like I didn't know anything about Pharrell
Yeah,
when I watched Piece by Piece, and it was fucking amazing. I think going into it, I think maybe I liked this so much because I didn't know anything about Robbie Williams and didn't care about Robbie Williams.
well, isn't that like the point of biopics is to learn about the artist that I mean, apparently the Robbie the Timothy Chalamet Ding Dong, is that
Chalamet
one?
Ding Dong.
Is that doing anything? I mean, it's getting a lot of critical hype and stuff. He's killing it as Bob Dylan, but like
Killing is Dylan.
yeah, killing is Dylan. But you know what it is too? Like I was thinking about this recently because it's like they're talking about the Michael Jackson one, right?
Right.
Apparently, I just was listening on the way here. They're doing that. First of all, they have a musical or a Broadway play about Michael Jackson. Now they're doing
Yeah.
this biopic on Michael Jackson. And it's, you know what it is? It's going to be a fucking fluff piece.
Oh, yeah.
No pun intended, or actually pun intended. But you're going to make, and they were like, wow, we have to do all these rewrites because I guess they mentioned in the movie about one of the, the ones that got accused, that one of his, victims. And it's just like, so in other words, you're going to make this biopic a fluff piece. Like, we all know what freaking look, don't get me wrong. Put on Off the Wall, I'm dancing like nobody's business. Thriller, great. The man fucking molested kids. It's been documented. There's a lot of, but then they're just going to put out this fluff piece of how great Michael Jackson is. And it's just like, oh, God, I can't. So, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of, even though I'm a musician, like music. Even when I think about Bohemian Rhapsody, great movie, didn't get into really like they were going to do that one with Sacha Baron Cohen. He was going to play Freddie. And apparently that version of it was like they get into the dirt. They know about the real things that happened with Freddie, about how they touched on it a little bit, but it's like we can't make something that's going to make them look horrible. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, don't fucking do a biopic. Then just, if you're ashamed of what you did, either own up to it or just don't do it. I don't know. It just drives me nuts.
It drives me nuts.
Anyway, that was my rant about musical biopics.
That's my news. That's all I want to talk about in the news. I don't give a shit about fucking Captain America sales or the fucking Labyrinth sequel that I don't want,
Nothing.
ask for, and don't care about.
Nothing. Tra-la-la.
Tra-la-la.
It's the bag of eternal stench. Yeah, man. I didn't even know they were doing that. But anywho, so yeah, we can get into.
Now hold on there 1 second here, young fella. I was thinking about maybe the two of us get down in the old pickup truck corner and hit one of them movie plexes where we can go sit down and eat a tub of popcorn and check out some preview.
Now, apparently, there's been a lot of trails out.
There has been
That's
one for Until Dawn.
Now, refresh my memory about Until Dawn.
It's a horror movie. It's a horror game, actually.
Oh, yeah. It's based on a horror game.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so funny how, like, Last of Us hits, and now they're just like, we're going to try a video game movie. I mean, there's a lot of great video game stories.
I remember it purely as a PlayStation game. Apparently it was also on Windows, but no, I don't think it was on Xbox. But it's a horror game that came out. I mean, you assume control of these 8 different young kids that are in this like mountain woods cabin type thing.
Yeah, you know what it is? I think about it too, because like I'm a big horror fan and I love a lot of, that's my jam. I just saw another one. I can't even name the trailer, but I watched it and I don't even want to say. I think it's like called like We're All Gonna Die or something like that. It's like they're not even trying anymore.
No.
the premise is these guys are in a house in the middle of nowhere and these guys in masks show up and terrorize them. It's like, dude, we've seen this before. Stop it.
It's not
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
Well, look, hey, Hell of a Summer is a horror movie. It
Yes.
actually looks pretty good because it seems like one of those campy slasher films that doesn't take itself too seriously.
Yeah.
Finn Wolfhard wrote, directed, and stars in it.
Yeah, which I was surprised. I mean, that's kind of the difference, where if you're doing like the other trailer that I talked about, you know, that they were pulling it seriously. Like slasher films, yeah. Put on like we talked about Hard Eyes last week, where it's just like, okay, a guy in a mask killing people. But that's kind of what you're going for. You know, like, I don't know. It's just, hey, there's
Hey,
Ma.
look, it's my mom.
Hey, Mom, what are you
Hi,
doing?
Mom.
Waving.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, so Until Dawn, yeah, I did hear, now that you mention it, I do remember it being a video game kind of movie. So.
Yeah, I asked my kids. I know I had the game. I know I played the game on my PlayStation 4. Mm-hmm. And they're like, I don't know what you're fucking talking about, Dad. And I'm like, I got to go look upstairs because I probably still have it. But I don't know.
I don't know. Keep it. Maybe it'll be a hit. I don't know.
So that's 2 trailers.
Okay.
Where do you want to go next?
Tell me about this Alto Nights one that you have
I
up
don't
here.
fucking know.
Dueling
It's
De Niro's?
Dueling De Niro's upcoming American biographical series by Barry Levinson.
Okay.
The film stars Robert De Niro in a dual role as mob bosses Vito Genovese and Frank Costello.
All right. Frank Costello.
Frank Costello, but like he's playing these 2 different mobsters. It's I just don't see.
So
it.
in other words, it's a stretch.
Yeah, I just
I mean, you know, De
I don't
Niro
see
doing
it
a
working
mafia
out.
movie, I get it. But like we said with the horror movies, it's like, we've seen this. Like,
Yeah.
just get somebody else to do it. Although they did try to do that with Tom Hardy, and what was that one he was doing? Capone, I think it was. Oh boy, that was bad.
Jesus.
It was like, oh boy. But yeah, there were, I mean, to kind of cleanse the palate a little bit, there is a new horror movie that's coming out that's got quite the accolades, because you got,
Ooh, tell me.
it's that one called The Monkey.
The Monkey.
So you got,
Yeah, that looks good.
you got Osgood Perkins, who fucking, I don't care what people say, Lynn. I loved Long Legs. I thought it was great. You got Osgood Perkins in there doing a Stephen King adaptation with James Wan he's got his hand in it. It's like, how could you go wrong? I mean, that's a
Like
formula
I
for
get the
greatness.
premise of the movie is these twin brothers had a monkey, toy monkey when they were younger that used to just kill people by using to make it look like an accident.
Yeah.
Making it look like an accident.
Like the typical Chucky thing, you
Yeah.
know. I thought it was like, remember they had that movie, I think it was called Monkey Shines?
yeah.
I thought, is this like, I wasn't sure if it was like a remake of that, because it is a Stephen King short.
Yeah.
And we all love, you know, at least I love Stephen King. Even
I
though
feel like I read this too, and it was part of like this anthology series of short.
yeah, it's a short. Yeah, I mean, the monkey does look freaking
It looks interesting. I mean, they got my money, so whatever. I mean, you know who else has my money?
Who's that?
Fucking Yellow Jackets. I cannot wait. Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
No, are they?
honey.
They're
That's
just
what
dropping.
we're doing.
Are they doing like? Look, I'm gonna tell you. I love when shows are now doing this. We're gonna drop 2 episodes, and then we're gonna give you an episode a week.
Yeah.
It gives me some. I know a lot of people are like, I just want to binge it, and I'm like, well, are you the person who fucking just, 2 pump chump and I'm done, or I guess with my TV shows, I'm saying I like to edge.
I'm quite a fan of edging, so yeah, I mean, I'll goon that shit all day long. But yeah, no, I'm more of a the whole binge model, it was exciting at first.
Right.
Where it was like, oh, I can watch the whole thing, but then when you put out a show and you do that, we already have short attention spans.
Yes.
To do that, I still remember, I think it was when House of Cards was still big, and I was like, ooh, new House of Cards, I'm going to start watching it. And I think you had mentioned, way before we were doing the podcast, you were like, yeah, I watched the whole thing. And I'm like, fuck, I'm only on episode 2. Stop. Oh, there you go. I'm a binger with my ginger.
Oh.
Oh, boy. Now, you know what it was is, Yeah, I like the week to week. I mean,
I do. It just gives me
sometimes-
something to look forward to. Like now the Skeleton Crew is over. I'm just like, what am I doing? Tuesday nights are like a little.
Yeah, it was we had a run for a while. Now it's kind of once Yellow Jackets comes back, which I mean that new season looks freaking delicious.
So good. And we got what's her name? Hillary Swank.
Swanking it. I wonder who she's gonna be. It was funny because Violet came downstairs and we were hanging out or whatever, and she's like, "Oh, I'm looking for something to watch." I'm like, "Start watching Yellow Jackets." She's like, "I never saw it." I put on the pilot episode, and of course, you know, old short attention span theater. She watched like 10 minutes of it. She's like, "I'll go back upstairs," and I'm like, so I started watching the pilot, and I was like, "Oh my god, dude, I can't wait for this show."
Yeah.
So they showed the whole beginning, like spoilers for a show that's been out for a couple of years, but they show the whole beginning of they're all walking around with the freaking animal skins on
Yep.
and all that stuff. I need some more Neil in
I
my
know.
life.
Going back to the news, I know there was some talk like some of the people from the Batgirl movie
Yeah,
are like, I just hope that someday somebody just fucking leaks it because it was done.
yeah.
It was,
I was
literally done.
I was listening about that too. Yeah, it's amazing how Joker Follow You Do and Madam Web come out, but yet Batgirl never did.
Yeah, I get the Carver family here. They have a hard time keeping interest week to week in shows because there's a lot of things to watch and you forget what's on when. And that's why I tell Kate, like, I have a web page I go to. I'm not promoting any web page, but I'll show it to you, Greg.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
but that's where they post the new episodes of the show that are available as bootlegs to download. And they're usually within minutes of it popping up on air. And every day, that's one of the pages I just go on there and I scroll and I see what new shows they just put up online.
It is
And I go,
tough.
oh, I need to
yeah.
go watch that. And I subscribe to all the streaming services. But again, I'm not going to... There are online calendars. You'd be like, I watch these shows and it'll just give you reminders. But that's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I mean, I do. I'll admit there are times, like especially when we get into the TV part of it, some of these where I start scanning through all my apps and I'm like, oh shit, there's a new episode. I forgot,
Yeah. Or you watch an episode, you go, I feel like I missed something.
Yeah, and I was like, when does Dexter, I always forget the name of it. I always want to say First Blood. They do First Blood, not me. But yeah, Original Sin, where it's like, and I
Are you
watched,
caught up on Original Sin?
I'm caught up. I almost dropped it. I was
spoiler.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah, I didn't see that coming. Did
I
you
did
watch?
not see that coming.
No, yeah, old McDreamy.
Old McDreamy cutting kids up.
Yeah, hesitation cut.
Hesitation mark. Why does the blood look like the kid's blood? Oh wait, because it's his dad. Fuck you all if you're watching it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm not sorry.
You should watch it. I mean, it's
we
one of
warned
those,
you we're assholes.
It was one of those shows where I'm like, I don't know, man. It was teetering. Like I was teetering, and then I'm like, well,
Are we going here?
it's
I feel like we've just naturally crossed over into TV land.
yeah. Let's do it because we're done with trailers. Let's just do TV first, and then we can do movies because I did see a few TV shows. But yeah, you have a little grinds my gear.
It's not a grinds my gear. It's really not.
An expose.
I don't know how I'm going to do this. You got me on the spot now. Am I going to work it? Is it going to work like this? You're going to get the full frontal?
Yeah.
With me up there? Okay, look. Here's my little, I guess, mini rant. It's not even a rant.
Yeah, just
Because
educate us, my friend. Educate me.
I'm telling you, I am fucking loving Apple TV. They are killing it. I've been watching Apple TV shows since Apple TV popped up, and I'm going to tell you most of the time, if I'm watching something on Apple TV, I can count it as a win. Mm-hmm. Especially if it's something in my, like, I fucking love sci-fi fantasy shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Silo. Okay.
Right.
Now you've been ranting and raving about Silo. I definitely want to watch
Justin
it.
started watching it, and he's on board with me on Silo now.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait for fucking season 3. Hashtag Juliet lives. I'm not going to tell you why. I don't want to spoil anything.
I have a mind like a gnat. It'll just freaking. I'll forget.
Well, it ends with her and Tim Robbins in this. This season ends with her and Tim Robbins in this like chamber, and then just fucking flames burning them.
Oh.
But I have a theory about it. She's in a firefighter suit, and I postulate she's still alive, but she has to be.
Yeah.
It's a series of books too. You got this show that kind of came and went because
man.
of a limited couple of seasons. C with Jason Momoa, also David Bautista was in that. There was a bunch of good people in that.
Dave Batista.
Great show. Right now, we got the new season of Severance is on. Severance is a show. These people work at this company. It's more of a cult, and I don't want to spoil too much. But the premise is when you go to work, you go down in this elevator, and you have a whole separate personality while you're working.
Okay.
It's your innie. And then when you leave and come up in the elevator, your other personality from the outside world, your outie. And your outie knows nothing about your innie, and your innie knows nothing about your outie. They're two separate, if you want to, people.
Now,
great show.
I'm blanking on the guy who created Ben Stiller. Thank
fucking
you. Yeah.
knocking it out of the park with this one.
He's a sleeper on
They
that
got
one.
Apple TV. You got Ted Lasso.
Oh,
I don't need to
everybody
say
talks
anything.
about the Ted Lasso. Yeah.
Foundation, which is a bit of a niche show. I think it's a epic sci-fi story. Great show for all mankind, which is, hey, what if the Russians made it to the moon first, and what if we started colonizing the moon, and then what if we went to... Each season is like a next adventure in like the abandoned space shit. Mythic Quest. Thank you, Justin. Justin brings it up. Freaking Mythic Quest. Who knew a show about a game development company could be as good and as funny as this show is? I don't even think you need to be that big of a nerd to freaking love this show. It's what's his name? Rob McElroy
Oh, okay. All right.
is in it. Shrinking, which you talked about last week, and
Yeah.
you mentioned it last episode, and me and the wife freaking binged all of it.
Yeah,
So good.
that's a sleeper. A lot of people
So
don't know
good.
about Shrinking, and it's
Harrison Ford. I got the shakes, man. I hear even Slow Horses is great on Apple TV.
Slow Horses.
I watched season 1. Gary Oldman's in it. I watched season 1. I enjoyed it. I just didn't enjoy it so much. I was like, ooh, joy, season 2 is coming, but I may give it. But look, their movies leave a little bit to be desired, which is why I kind of feel like they need to just focus on continue on making these amazing character-driven TV shows that let them build characters and stories which have like multiple complex layers, which I don't think a lot of people appreciate in shows. But they get us invested in these stories, and the movies just have a real hard time capturing all that in 2 hours. I mean, look, the season 2 finale the most recent season finale for Silo was fucking, perfect. I can't wait for season 3, which is kind of the point.
okay.
But it's a great show, great characters, great ending. And then, you've got, that's Apple TV, but then you got these fuckers who look, Netflix, they consistently give us the same thing, whether it's a movie or a series, with no exception. With the exception of character development, which is kind of understandable in movie, but you just get the same shit from Netflix. I feel like it's kind of like middle of the road, okay stuff. I don't think they're really hitting it out of the park with any of their shit.
Yeah, a lot of these networks,
And they're raising their rates again.
I know. Thank God I paid for
Hashtag why I pirate.
Yeah. A lot of these apps now have to kind of figure out where their lane is, where, it seems like Apple TV, movies are shit, TV shows are great. Concentrate on the TV stuff, good quality TV, kind of like what Max is doing. Max is dipping. HBO has always been great with documentaries, right? And I'll get into one of the documentaries I saw on Max recently. But same with Netflix, too. Like, Netflix has got it down, like, as much as we goof on, like, this documentary is 3 parts. It could have been a movie. But their docs are great, but their freaking original movies are shit. Like, concentrate on that. Like, just concentrate on what your lane is. If you're fucking Mr. freaking documentary, just stick with that.
Yep.
Or if you have TV shows like the Stranger Things and stuff,
I think Apple should stick with their TV shows.
Yeah.
I feel like Netflix should stick with the couple of series they got that are really good, and stick with their little cheesy action films and documentaries. I think they're doing pretty good at being well-rounded, Netflix, but they're not doing anything, in my opinion, that's like so stellar.
I don't feel...
It's just they kind of keep it mid-road.
Yeah, like at this point with Netflix, sure, they have a couple of good documentaries. Like I said, I'll get into some of those too. But like, it's almost like, and they keep raising their rates, and you're like, you're really...
What am I getting?
Yeah, you're really not like giving me anything for it.
Nope.
Like, and I get it. Like some of these ones, like Disney Plus, right? Disney Plus, they're almost the opposite of like they do these TV shows of these superhero things, and you're just kind of like, or the Star Wars of it all. It's just kind of like you probably want to stick. Like the perfect example I heard is Moana 2, right?
Right.
They originally
Supposed to be a show.
yeah, it was supposed to be a TV show until Bob Iger came back and said, "What are you fucking idiots doing? Put it out in the movies." And it made over $1 billion.
Right.
It's Disney Plus is like you could make original content movies or something like that, kind of lower budget, but if you're going to spend, unless you have a show like a Game of Thrones or something like that, then, you're taking a gamble a lot of times, It's just, I don't know. I mean, there's a reason why we're sitting in a basement and these people are making gazillions. But, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. I mean,
what about you? Any new TV for you?
TV-wise, I mean, the ones that I did see, I have been watching on the Saturday Night Live 50th anniversary. They put out a documentary, a couple of different episodes. Kind of fascinated with it. I didn't finish it because the episodes are really, really long.
You all right over there?
Yes.
The GERD?
Yeah, the GERD's attacking again. The first episode, it was more of like the beginnings of it, and they have like one episode just on the writers. They did a whole episode on the fucking cowbell skit.
Why?
It wasn't
Because it became such a popular
It was
thing.
such a popular thing, and
Did they do a whole episode on Saturday Night Live skits that became full-blown movies?
yeah, I haven't
Wayne's
gotten
World.
I haven't gotten into that part yet, but the first episode was more of the
Turtle.
auditions, which was good because they show a lot of the early auditions of some of these people, and they talk about the process, and it's an institution, man. I mean, it's crazy how they do it and how it's still on and all that stuff. But that's interesting if you got a couple hours to burn.
No, I don't.
The other one I watched, we talked about Dexter. Still on board with that. Like I said, at first I was kind of like, this is kind of like cosplay. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't know. They're really nailing it. And the storyline that they have going on, it's like getting new Dexter without, Michael C. Hall. American Primeval, didn't finish it. Should I finish it? Is it something where you think if I wasn't invested after 2 episodes, am I going to get invested? Is there something that happens that I'm like, holy shit, I have to keep watching it?
I don't know. Her and the kid and him survive and decide to make their way west to California. There you go. Saved your fucking couple hours.
Thank you. Yeah, it was pretty gruesome. It was pretty
Yeah.
wild. But that, and the only other thing I watched, it was a Netflix jam, and we were talking about their documentaries. I did watch one called
A
Kings.
documentary in 2 parts.
It was a documentary in 3 parts, actually.
Uh-oh.
And one of them was really long. One is Kings of Tupelo.
Tupelo. Tupelo.
Kings of Tupelo.
Well, I'll tell you, I heard my balls are Tupelo.
Real quick, it was a I watched some of that SNL show. Yeah, it's pretty good.
I don't know that I care enough about SNL to be that invested in watching a documentary about it.
I've been wanting to watch that Saturday night movie that they put out.
Even that was just...
It's the first days of it or something.
It was the first show.
Yeah,
it was
the
all
first
about the
show.
production of the first episode. It's not even the first episode. It's all about like the getting to the point of making that first episode, like the day that they were supposed to put it on, all the prep beforehand. That's all it
Yeah,
fucking
the
is.
craziness.
Bullshit. It was boring as fuck. I couldn't stand it.
But Kings of Tupelo. I'll tell you.
Tupelo.
The only reason I saw it is because you see the guy with the bag on his head and
Yeah.
talking, and he's naked drinking wine or something like that. Real quick, it was fast enough to watch it. We were entertained because it's a story about Tupelo, Mississippi, the birthplace of Elvis.
Oh, the king.
So you go to, let me tell you, and I told you, I would rather chew on a fucking piece of glass than live in Tupelo, Mississippi. I'm sorry.
I'd rather
all of our
hold-
Tupelo, Mississippi fans, I'm sorry. It's just one of those places, like it's the birthplace of Elvis, right? Birthplace of Elvis.
The birthplace of Elvis.
I don't know what happened there. But you go there and it's like, here's where Elvis sat down. Here's where Elvis had a sandwich. Here's where Elvis got his first ice cream. And you're like, fucking who cares? He's the king. He's the king. I get it. So, of course, everything is based around Elvis, right? So there's this guy, kind of a sad sack guy. His brother is really doing well in insurance. And, it's a typical little small town. and everything is Elvis. So they have a lot of Elvis impersonators. So his brother is doing an Elvis impersonate. He's doing that as a job, but he's not really. But he also gets a job as a janitor. So his spin is the Elvis janitor, right?
Ooh.
So he's pretty popular. Yeah, peanut butter and banana sandwiches, man, it's good shit. So
Stop it, Justin. You can't distract him.
I know, a squirrel. No, but then he gets a job as a janitor, and he does this Elvis impersonation thing, and he actually ends up doing a show with his brother, who is also an Elvis impersonator. I guess apparently everybody's Elvis impersonators there. They do a show called Double Trouble, where it's two Elvises, right? But anyway, he's the janitor, and he's at this hospital, this big hospital. So it's actually a really, really big hospital there in Mississippi. They go, "Oh, could you come down and clean? There's some blood stuck in the drains, and we need to get it out, in the embalming room and stuff like that." Like, okay. So he goes in, and he's like, I have my hazmat suit on, and I was really thirsty, so I decided to get myself a Dr. Pepper.
Ooh, Dr. Pepper. You and Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, so I went into the fridge. Now, of course, every hospital fridge in a fucking embalming thing has Dr. Pepper. I don't know.
Of course, where else would you keep it?
Like, why did you go to a fucking soda machine? Anyway, I digress. He opens it up, and there's body parts in there.
Yes, it's a
there's
morgue.
a head. It's a morgue. Yeah, and so he's convinced. He's on this, like, he gets obsessed with the hospital is selling off body parts, because I guess there was a human head in there, and he saw that guy a day or two ago, and now his head is in there. So he's convinced that the whole hospital is selling. There's a whole organ trade, and he gets on MySpace, and he's like a nut job. The only thing I'll say about it is there's one part where, his family, his wife, his kids, all just like, he's obsessed. He has MySpace. That tells you how long ago. He's got all these MySpaces, and he's writing up all this stuff, and he thinks it's a big conspiracy. But they all think he's a whack job, which he is. He's a whack job. He lives in a fucking trailer, and he's just all by himself, and he's on the internet all day.
We don't mean to disparage the homely challenge to live in trailer park establishments.
Dude, whatever. It's, it's more than what I got. But he's on there. So they're doing this big show. Double Trouble's got this big show coming up at some fucking. I was telling John Alex, it reminds me of my cover band gigs where they're like, it's the biggest show ever. We're playing the Sip and Stroll. It's like, I've played CBGBs. Not to sound like I'm a fucking big shot.
We're
like,
playing the dock down by the lake.
Yeah,
we're fall closing.
Yeah, it's the back to school night or something where you're like, okay. But anyway, they have this big show. It's a big deal for them, right?
Right.
Cool. 1,500 people. Everybody's excited to see Double Trouble, the two Elvises. So the brother goes, and apparently there was like politicians there, and police and some big wigs. So the crazy one is like, now's my chance. Right?
Oh shit!
And the brother is like, for the love of God, dude, just do the
Don't
show.
talk about the heads in the fridge.
Yeah, just do your Elvis show. Everything, just do that. And he goes, all right, I promise I'm gonna do. And they show the clip, and he's out there, and he's rocking out. He's doing Elvis. And first of all, none of them look like Elvis. They wear the jumpsuit, but one of them's got like a Chico and the Man mustache. You're like, Elvis did not have a mustache. But I guess he really liked the mustache. So he's out there, and he's rocking it, and everything's like, I'm having the show of my life. Everything's great. People are going nuts. He's out there. He's wiggling his hips, blah, 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 blah. And the rest of the family is like, oh, it gets to the end of the show, and everybody's like, oh, phew, okay.
We made it without incident.
And he goes, thank you, good night. And he goes, I have something to say. Oh, no. He starts going, there's organ harvesting.
Heads in the fridges.
Heads in the fridges. And, of course, he just, it reminds me of the fucking, you had your chance and you blew it.
I asked the doc, can I get some head? He pointed to the fridge.
And he just got to that point where he's just like, people are freaking, driving by his house, and he's paranoid, and like I got to the end, I did fall asleep, and I just looked at him now, same thing I did with American Primeval. I'm like, what happened? He's like, oh yeah, he's back at it.
I
I'm
did
like,
that the other
I was
night.
like, did anything happen? Did he blow up? Did fucking aliens go? No? Okay, good.
I was watching some stupid show the other night and I fell asleep. It just kept playing episode after episode. Shows you how much I cared about it.
So we should probably get into movies.
Real quick, I watched a crazy movie today.
Ooh.
It was, I don't even know how crazy it was.
There is one movie that we did both see, and we'll talk about.
Go
but
for it. You
Do you
want
want to do that?
First.
No, we'll do. I'll do the Max documentary, like we talked about. At least the Max documentaries are just movies. They're 90 minutes. You're in, you're out. No chapters. Blah blah blah. No, this one that I did see, it was on Max. It was called Sons of Ecstasy.
Oh God.
Real quick, it was a story about. Oh, everybody remembers old Sammy the Bull Gravano, the old Gotti, Cosa Nostra, ratted on John Gotti. My grandfather to this, he's been dead for a long time, but he used to say John Gotti is a saint.
John Gotti's the same. Okay.
Well, because he lived in the same neighborhood. He goes, no, there was no crime, and he'd do 4th of July for free for everybody. He was a great man. Kind of like how my grandmother Nanny used to go, I voted for Donald Trump. He gave me a robe. I'm like, why? But anyway, it's a whole story about when he went into witness protection. His kids were getting targeted by, obviously the mob wants to get back at Sammy, and they try to get his kids. His kids move to Arizona, and then the kid starts getting into selling ecstasy.
Oh yeah, as kids do.
Yeah,
As kids do.
And it's a typical, like, you didn't learn. like, you think, because even Sammy the Bull, I think he killed 19 fucking people. And he got
Amateur.
off scot-free to get to throw Gotti in jail.
Amateur.
He's a fucking rat. But anyway, he was, he had a construction business. He was doing, he was keeping his head down,
Staying
doing
legit.
whatever. And his son gets down there, and he's like, there. You could tell they're totally fucking, like, we're fish out of water. I'm like, oh boy. But he gets into the whole rave scene and ecstasy, and he starts selling ecstasy, and there's this other guy, and there's this big war, and then, watch it for yourself. That's all I can really say.
Right.
It was it was a harmless 90 minutes.
But at least it was a documentary and not a documentary series.
No, yeah, it was in and out,
That could
and
have easily been a fucking
but,
documentary.
to do a quick little. If you do watch this documentary, the son gets pinched. He gets and they get all mad. The family gets mad because the other guy that he was involved with ratted on him, and they're like,
course.
"That scumbag." I'm like, Pot. Here, Pot. This is Kettle. You're black.
No, Pot, it's me.
What?
Kettle. You're black.
Yeah, and then they wanted Sammy the Bull so fucking bad, the CIA or the DEA, whatever,
Yeah.
that they were like, "You were the mastermind." He was like, "No, I wasn't."
had nothing to do
But
with
he
this.
wanted to protect his son, so he goes,
He pulled a Biden.
"Yeah."
Pardon you. I pardon you.
He didn't do the pardon. He
I
just
pardon
did.
you.
He told the DEA, even though he did kind of help like finance a couple of things because he wanted this kid to get out of it. So he goes, "I'll finance this, and then you're out." And he goes, "Okay," but then he got pinched before that, and then so Sammy the Bull said, "All right, yeah, I'm the mastermind behind it. I'll take the 10 years." And then his kid took a lesser sentence.
Well,
so.
really, really quick, the movie that Kat and I watched today, I was just flicking through Netflix. I saw it looked interesting, so I watched it because it had Chris Hemsworth in it.
Oh, a Hemsworth.
And I was like, oh, let's watch it. And we start watching it. And then it's like Chris Hemsworth. And then it's Cillian Murphy's in it.
Ooh.
And then Brandon Gleeson, Mad Eye Moody from the Harry Potter movies.
Oh, yeah.
And like all of us, it's like all then all of a sudden it's like fucking Tom Holland is. I
I'm
was like,
looking
what
at the
fuck is
cast.
going
I'm like, holy shit. When did this come out?
2015.
Oh.
And it's literally basically the story of, and if you look, what's his name? Ben Winslow plays Herman Melville.
Okay.
And Herman Melville goes to this guy, Tom Nickerson, who's played by Brandon Gleeson, and interviews him about the whaling ship, the Essex, that ran aground.
Oh.
And he tells him the story of searching for whales for whaling, and they come across this like legend of this spot in the ocean where all the whales go, and they go there, and there's this giant white whale that just attacks them.
Oh.
And it's kind of the story. I guess it's supposed to be a fictional or maybe not fictional of the story that inspired Moby Dick.
Okay.
It was just all the famous people. I was like, I got to see how the fuck they got this.
Yeah, you
list
even
of
got
people.
Frank Delane in there, who he was. Oh God, what was his name? He was in Fear the Walking Dead.
He was Fear the Walking Dead. He was the kid, the
yeah,
junkie kid.
Yeah, he was the best part. Once he died, that shit fucking went downhill quick.
That's what made me think about it, because we were talking about something before, and I was like, oh my God, I watched that movie with the guy from Fear the Walking Dead.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not even gonna rate, but the movie we wanted to talk about,
Which I got you to watch.
The Substance.
The Substance. Look, man, I thought you didn't enjoy it.
I was annoyed by it.
It was
I
funny
really
because
was,
when I watched it, because I know you like that trippy shit, that heady crap. So I'm like, all right, he'll love this shit.
But how? Like, I know. I like Justin. Just go with me on this. I can get it when it's a fucking horror movie. That half this shit is just ridiculous and stupid, and I get it's body horror, so it's like. But when she's spoiler fucking people, what? Yeah, go ahead. Who does a fucking?
A bucket of his diarrhea.
Exactly.
It was liquid.
Okay. Like, there's little things that, like, I'm like, give me a fucking break now. Like, she goes, like, you know how, like, the young girl takes her spinal fluid or whatever, the stabilizer, right? When she does it, she starts to age and her body starts to get old and get rotten, right? Demi Moore's character.
Yeah.
So, how is it she goes to stand up and her fucking knee snaps in half, but she can run a fucking 440 mile? Like, when she's got to run from the one place to another and she's fucking booking it. It's like, wasn't she just like a 110-year-old woman whose legs were snapping because she tried to stand up, and now you got her running upstairs? Like, I can take like the whole freaking like I don't know, the from beyondness of like that monster thing that she becomes at the end, like like, you know, a clone of a clone.
Hey, it's Mike Toretti. Hey,
Mike
buddy.
Toretti.
Hey, eat your peas, motherfucker.
Like, I can take the whole like she becomes that like clone of a clone, just a mass mishmash bullshit thing, because they're like, don't, you know, only use once, and she does it twice and makes a clone of the clone kind of thing.
Look, I
can deal with that, dude, but give me a fucking break. Like, I don't know. You're gonna tell me she's like slow going because she's old and she can't move. She's got to figure out a way to get. And then have her run fucking 5 miles from one place to the next.
Yeah, but then, you know, look at the subject matter. It's kind of like people go, oh, I don't want to okay, and fucking zombies are fucking running around. You know, Demi Moore, there's a lot of nudity, and then there's parts of them both rolling around naked and all that stuff. I think it would be, I think Videodrome and this would be a good double feature. Like, if you're into that, like, body horror stuff.
I didn't hate it.
No, look, I didn't. Was it the greatest? Like, I mean,
I'll give
totally
it
saying it's
pals.
one of the greatest horror movies made in the past 40 years. That's a bold statement.
That's a bold move there, Cotton.
Yeah, that's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off. It was great. I thought it was. It definitely got me thinking. Like, you know, it was weird. It was. You know, the whole idea of, like, you know, women and the aging process.
Sure.
You got Demi Moore, who looks, I mean, if that was her body, apparently the other girl that was in there, that wasn't her real tits.
What?
I hate to bust your bubble there, but
God damn it.
But I was like,
I don't care. Because you know what? This is one of those movies where it's like, you know what? The nudity makes sense.
It does.
It's like, how are you going to freaking clone yourself with a split of younger version of yourself out your fucking back and keep your clothes on?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was good for the fact that, like, the practical effects, you know, the whole body horror thing is kind of like, it's interesting.
I loved all of that. There's just certain things I'm like, you know me, it's like the littlest thing can take me out of a movie, and I don't know why that fucking just annoyed the It's like, you're selling me on how old and decrepit she's gotten because this girl keeps sucking the life out of her. Mm-hmm. And I get the whole, I'm not going to pot talk this and be like, well, that's a parallel for this and that's a statement about this. But then 2 seconds later, you got her doing this shit that someone who, like, you just sold me on her being fucking old and decrepit and frail, and now you got her fucking fighting and beating somebody up. Like, come on.
But
She'll
then her-
punch somebody, her hand would freaking snap in half.
Yeah, but her head was also attached to the freaking demented body.
But I'm not even talking at that point. I'm talking like old Demi, like when she got old and she had to go. I forget what part of it. It just annoyed the shit out of me. That's how much it annoyed me.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get what you're saying, and I get what Totally is saying too.
I do
look,
too.
I'm totally down with it. It was refreshing to see something that unique.
Yeah.
Where it was like the way it was shot, the visual, the effects in it were old school. Like it definitely had that 80s. Like I said,
Hey,
watching Videodrome in this would be a great double feature.
Sure, it's no Amelia Perez. What a piece of fucking shit that thing was.
Even though what
The fuck, Amelia Perez, dude? Do you know the premise behind this movie that's getting all this Oscar buzz? It's like a fucking musical about this drug kingpin who wants this doctor to help him fake his death so that he could have gender reassignment surgery and run the fucking drug empire as a woman. And it's got all these crazy out of tune musical fucking, I don't even want, I'm just angry. I'm fucking moving on. It's like an insult. The movie's a fucking insult. Fucking piece of shit. Anyway.
Fucking diapers. I shit my pants every day. I can't walk. I can't.
No, where's the how will you explain that?
Oh, here you go.
How will you explain that?
Oh, that was wild. That was like a double.
Fucking, how do you fucking explain that piece of shit? Just Google Amelia Perez and it's on Netflix. Fucking watch that piece of shit.
Okay.
Fucking piece of garbage. Anyway,
I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just not.
you know what I watched, dude?
What'd you watch?
Talk about. Wait. Where is the back? Give me a back in the day.
Oh, hold on.
Back in the days when I was young.
Damn it, we're old.
Because I don't fucking know how, Justin. Don't fucking know how it got 13 Oscar nominations. I don't know who the fuck has dick pics and naked pics or fucking the Epstein list. That's what it's got to be. Somebody's got the fucking Epstein list.
I have
and they're like, hey, Netflix, we made this piece of shit. We want you to put it out. And by the way, Academy, all of you who were on the fucking Epstein plane, Oscar nods. Oscar nods for this piece of shit.
I mean,
I watched The Legend of Billie Jean again. Dude, I'm not going to lie. It holds up. It's such a. I mean, there's parts where like I'm watching when she's up in that. He's like, here's $50. You just keep coming back. When he fucking, I refuse to see it. Why give him exactly fucking Mike,
Mikey boy, we miss you, buddy. Hope you're doing well.
When she goes upstairs with the guy with the dad, Hubie's dad, and he's like fuck me, and I'll give you $50 now, and every time you come back and fuck me, I'll give you another $50 towards your brother's bike. Like that. That's super fucking creepy. I was like, oh my god, I forgot how fucking creepy weird that was.
It was a different time.
It's a classic fun. Most of those older movies, I just can't watch them because it's just so like I'm so like, oh, I can't believe I like this so much. That's one of those movies that's still just Christian Slater and Helen Slater playing brother and sister. Come on.
Oh, yeah, Christian
Fair is
Slater,
fair. Fair is fair.
Going back to Dexter Original Sin, man, he's great in that show. He's the one that still make me hang on.
The guy who plays Dexter?
No, Harry.
Oh.
Christian Slater.
Oh, Christian Slater. Oh, fuck yeah.
I'm going in tonight for my
transplant. Oh, God.
Oh, Godspeed, man. Good luck with everything.
Thoughts and prayers, Mikey. Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers, man. We got you. You got it, man.
If you need a liver, I'm not your guy.
Yeah, mine is on the way back. So,
actually, I was talking about that with somebody, like talking about drinking. I was like, dude, Manny's like, Dad, can I steal one of your beers in the fridge? I was like, take them both, dude. I don't know that I don't know when I will drink those.
Yeah.
Well, because I've been on the eating a little bit better kick.
Yeah.
I'm not eating sugar and I'm not eating bread. And that includes drinking things like beer because there's sugar and wheat in it. So
it's bread in a can.
Dude, I'm down 20 pounds.
There you go. Good for you, Sweet Pea.
Anyway, I'm done with my fucking Amelia Perez piece of shit. Fucking flush it down the goddamn fucking toilet.
I'm not the Oscar demographic. None of the movies I list them all off. I'm like, I don't see any of these.
Fucking, you got, what's her fucking name in it?
Zoe Saldana, Selena Gomez, who I don't think Selena Gomez is a native Spanish speaker.
even though she's like Hispanic.
She's got Gomez, sure.
But like I don't. It's weird. She doesn't know how to speak Spanish. It was the most awkward thing. Like I'm like, I feel like the words coming out of her mouth should be coming from somewhere else.
I don't know.
Low calorie sperm, man. Low calorie sperm.
Exactly.
Anyway,
yeah.
where are we going from here?
I think we'll do a little bit of the that.
Sorry. And
No.
I can't.
I love it.
I can't add songs to the 2025 playlist.
You can't?
No, I can't. I don't know what it is in the settings of the playlist.
It's weird now. Like the way that they do it is, we're gonna have to share it every week.
Because I tried.
Because you could share it to collaborate and stuff, but it says it's only good for, I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. But
I tried to add the new Lucy Dacus song.
Look, we'll add this stuff on here if you list it. So
see, if I go here and I go add to playlist,
mm-hmm.
the 2025 doesn't come up.
Are you following the playlist?
That's right. It's right.
Yeah, it's right there. Go to the three dots. Download, move the folder, share. I don't know. Yeah, your playlist is now displayed on your profile. I don't know.
No fucking no.
Yeah, they used to do it where you could just add collaborations, and that's what we were doing. But anywho,
I'm mad.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But the last time, like, if you go on our page, on the Facebook page, and when I share it on there, it does give you the option to add stuff, I think.
I'll have to go walk.
Yeah, but there really, I mean, to be honest with you, there really wasn't that much that caught my eye that I put on the playlist. We'll definitely, the ones that you have, definitely pull them up on there, and we'll chat about it. I mean, really, it's a lot of the same shit. I mean, you know, there's a new song by Destruction. Old German thrash, if you're into that shit. They're still freaking kicking it, man. They're still, you know, it's like them, Creator, and if you're into that, like, old German thrash or just any the old school thrash, I mean, they're still doing it. The ones that I did put it on there, on the playlist, I'll just talk about those. Will be quick. There was, there's a band called Whitey Morgan in the 78s.
Yeah, Whitey.
It popped up. I was like, wait, I'm following these guys? Why am I following these guys? And I was like, it's just crusty fucking country.
Why does that look like fucking Grateful Dead? Jerry
Garcia?
Jerry Garcia.
Yeah, I don't know why it's so funny. Like, there are bands where you're like,
yo, I like this next one.
oh, did you hear this song?
Sexy Red Bruno Mars? No.
Oh my God. First of all, it came up and it was like, oh my God, Sexy Red.
Fat, Juicy, and Wet.
Just listen to the first. I mean, we're gonna get fucking taken off, but
Fat, juicy, and wet. I don't even gangbang. Pussy so good, make me throw up a set.
just, I mean, let's just, so we don't get demonetized. I will read it as a very I'll get into it here. Pussy like weed, pussy like dope, pussy like cocaine. Put it up your nose. A slob on my clit, suck on my toes, 24 karat pussy drip like gold. Throw on my legs. Whoa, where are you going?
I'm sorry.
Come on, I'm getting serious here. I'm talking. Throw my legs back, eat my booty from the front, milk mustache on your face when I come.
Wow.
Hit it from the bottom, hit it from the top. Pop go the pussy because the pussy say pop.
Okay, I'm good. I don't mean to be like, why?
I mean, maybe I'm getting old. I don't know. Like, that's
a hit. That's a hit, Gregory.
I went to fucking school for classical music. I put out 7 fucking albums. Pussy like make it pop go wet. Like, what? Oh, but everybody's like, yo, that song slaps. I'm like, her name's Sexy Red. Click on Sexy Red. I just want to see what her other songs.
I gotta go back.
No. Go all the way to the bottom. No, see on your bottom left there? Just don't, click on her. So this is Sexy Red. What
Sticky.
you know about me? I want to know. Oh, Tyler is awesome. I love Tyler. I just want to say, looking for the hose. I don't get it. Maybe I'm old,
I don't either.
but it reminded me of because Violet and I were on a Bruno Mars kick. We were like, we listened to Bruno Mars on Tuesday because she had to go to the orthodontist. And I'm like, no, it was Friday. And we're like, listening to Bruno Mars. And like that new song came up. And I was just like, have you heard this? Like it came up on the new playlist. And I'm like, because I follow Bruno Mars. I was like, what the hell is this? I don't get it.
You know what? It's no,
Give us the precious.
The precious. Give us the precious. Give us the precious. Give us the precious.
Yo, Frodo run that shit, run the back, and the whole Shire getting hit. Samwise.
What happened to hip hop?
dude.
I don't know what
but
happened to hip hop.
I'm surprised you don't know this song. You know where
No.
we found this song?
Where?
Kate, it was in Shrinking.
Oh,
The girl who's like, I'm gonna leave you with the "Give Us the Precious." It's 30 minutes long, and then she leaves. But it's not 30 minutes long. But that's
I
the
was gonna
song.
say.
When we play Catan, I'll do start a jam, and then we'll put it on the Echo.
Yeah, okay.
So like it's just playing in the background. Everybody puts their songs on while we're playing Settlers of Catan.
Yeah.
And Kate just fucking keeps adding this song obsessively. She'll add it, and then when it plays it, she'll just add it again. Because like once you've added it, you can't add it again.
Yeah.
But then once it's played it, she'll add it again. She'll add it again.
That's like
It's
if you've
fucking-
looked up on Spotify, my daughter Zoe told me about this. Did you know that Home Depot has a theme song?
No.
Home Depot theme song. Just listen to it. It's just
Which one?
there's the
The Home
there's
Depot.
so many of them.
Home Depot beat.
This is it, I think. They've made like a million of them.
There's the holiday version.
The Home Depot beat, I guess it is. Mike,
I had no clue.
she made a whole playlist of just the Home Depot theme song. It reminded me of a little since we had our buddy Mikey on.
God damn it, we're old.
I'll leave you at this. When we used to go to the Olympic Diner, and it was me, you, and Walter. We were sitting there one day, and it was when you put money in, it you pick your songs,
Right, at the diner. Yeah.
and everybody gets to listen to the songs you're playing.
Oh yeah, and yet you were never there for when your fucking songs finally came up, because by the time like there were so many songs in the queue that you like ate your food and were gone by the time you were lucky if you heard your song,
But
or
I
you had
rem-
to be there at like 2 a.m.
Yeah, but I remember one time I was with Walter, and we were flipping through it. We used to do this all the time. We would take like $5, or like even we'd all chip in and get like $10 worth of quarters, put it all in, and you could play the same song over and over again. Now they had, for some reason, in the jukebox, remember the Addams Family rap?
Yeah,
They do what they want to do, say what they want to say. They had the Addams Groove, but yeah, they had. They had this in there, but
Could you imagine?
no,
I don't
it
have
gets-
to imagine.
It gets even better. They had the Addams Family rap, but for some reason, on the B side was just the instrumental. So
God.
we would put $10 worth of the Addams Family rap, the instrumental version of it, and just so it played over, and so you could see everybody in the diner, like they're listening to their fucking,
Nope, that's not
no, it I don't, for some reason it was on there,
God.
and they, everybody's listening to their Bad Company or whatever the fuck they're listening to, and then all of a sudden you hear. And the people are like, "What? Who the fuck picked this?" And then it would end, and then it would start over again. It went on for like an hour.
So it's the Adams.
Maybe. Oh yeah, MC Hammer, Adams Groove instrumental. It's got to be.
Oh,
that.
I was thinking the karaoke.
Oh no, yeah, do that one.